Hello again. I needed to pop on here, and even though this issue I'm going to talk about is specific to Ohio, I think if it hasn't reached your state yet, it's going to. And I wanted to try to give everybody the heads up to kind of keep an eye out for this stuff because I think the state legislators are kind of sneaking things in the back door that are paving the way to sneak up um, a digital ID. I really truly believe that if this continues unchecked, that you'll get up one morning and open your web browser, either on your phone or your computer, and it'll say that you need to set up your um, digital passport. Kind of like, I think, didn't we hear Nikki Haley talking about something that she was demanding that we shouldn't be anonymous online? But there's a lot of things going on in many states that while we're distracted with all these supposed food recalls and what's in your water and just all this crazy shit, and then of course the stuff down at the border, stand with Texas. But anyway, um, while we're distracted and everybody's begging for the Epstein files, but while we're distracted with all that, each state, each one of them, their houses are pulling shit, and they're voting on stuff that we barely hear about, if at all. And like I said, I fully believe that they're laying the groundwork to push us in to a digital ID. And it's one of those things they get you doing it over here and doing it over here. Oh, well, here's my driver's license. Here's all this documentation to prove who I am and how old I am or whatever, to have this eventual digital passport. And you know how they do us. They try to get us accustomed to something. So it's, just, well, this will be easier. Just have all your information. You can use it one place for everything. So what am I talking about? About a week ago, I was on YouTube, and I love to watch dog videos. But anyway, and I scan headlines. I do not listen to mainstream media because I don't even believe the weatherman tells the truth anymore. But I scanned headlines to kind of see what crap flavor of the day they're trying to push. And this caught my eye. It's called Porn Snub. Ohio lawmakers want to require ID to watch online pornography. Now, I don't like porn. I don't watch porn. I never have, never will. But that's a topic for an entirely different video. In fact, I wrote, if you go to my blog, unkpi.net, I'll put the link down there. I wrote an extensive article shortly after I watched this news clip. And then I, found out about HB 295. They call it the Innocence Act. And it purports to want to help protect children from obscene or harmful material by requiring people who want to view porn to show some form of legal identification. Well, that's wrong on many levels. Like I said, I do not support watching porn at all. I wish they would all go away. Not the people, but the people that produce it and make money off of it. But again, that is an entirely, in my opinion, separate topic to talk about. And believe me, I'm going to later on. But this here, HB, Ohio House Bill 295, please look it up, even if you're not in Ohio, but especially if you are. And go to your Ohio legislature, legislature.ohio.gov. I'll put that link down there too. Type in your zip code, find your legislator, and let them know that you want them to have nothing to do with this, that they need to vote no on this. And then go find your state senator, because I wrote Christina Rogner, my state senator, because I have absolutely nothing to do with Weinstein. I just want nothing to do with him. I can't wait till we can vote him out again. And because we did once and it just didn't go well. But anyway, because there's a similar bill in the Senate. And Christina Rogner, my state senator, she's fabulous. And her office tipped me off that there's a similar bill before the Senate right now. And it states down here, this legislation requires age verification through an independent third-party verification service. If any of you agree with that, please comment down below. I would like to hear if I'm the only one cynical and crazy enough to believe that they don't give a shit about kids watching porn. They don't give a shit about helping parents protect our children. Their overriding agenda here is, again, to pave the way for a digital ID. I believe I've got enough to back up the fact that they don't give a shit. Just look at all the stuff that many states, including Ohio, has done for decades and is continuing to do that stand in the way of good parents trying to protect their own children. So if they cared about protecting children, they wouldn't stand in the way of good parents. They wouldn't punish good parents. They wouldn't take children from good parents that are protecting their children. So all of those factors, and we can discuss that extensively at another time too, but all of those factors tell me they don't give a shit about our kids when they're in there making these bills. But they slap this label on it, this Innocence Act, and claim to want to help protect our children while they're slipping in the back door this digital ID stuff. Another thing that tipped me off, that even after I wrote this article, was the fact that I was reminded that just last year, DeWine signed into law requiring parental consent for social media accounts, which that I have to say, to an extent, I agree with. Parents should monitor their children, everything they're doing online. The mailman's passing, and you might hear my dogs in the background, so sorry in advance if it gets a little loud. But parents should be monitoring their children. They should be involved in every aspect of their children's lives, not the government. But anyway, this requires social media companies to obtain verifiable consent from a legal guardian for a child under 16 to even register an account. That much I agree with. But what's that verifiable consent? Let's go down here. Verify their identity with a form of government-issued identification to be checked against a database. Here we are. They want to still create more databases because we know that they already have them. But the point is, verify identity with government-issued identification. Verify identity with, legal identification with a third-party verification service. This is insane. I really need to hear from you guys. So say something in the comments down below, or you can hit me up on my website. You can contact me through there. And I'll put those links below too. But am I the only one that sees what they're really up to here? I mean, you know what? I'm going to just save all the other stuff because, I've been so ticked off at DeWine for so long. But anyway, I'm going to save all of those things for another video. But this here needs to be stopped. I do agree with, like I said, children should not be able to just willy-nilly get online, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, or any other social media, without direct parental involvement. So, hey, just like when, a kid can't just go get his own cell phone and get their own cell service, they have to be part of the family plan, last I checked. So why not have Meta and them create a family plan for social media? Parent signs up. They want their child. They are okay with their child signing up. Well, the parent helps create that account. Parent has full control and full access over everything that child does in that account. And, say my child, which I don't have any young children anymore, but if I did and my child had their account and I'm looking through, because periodically we need to check, just like you look under their mattress to see what they might be hiding, you're going to look in their social media accounts, I hope. And you see, well, you know what? I don't like this guy over here, so we're going to block him. And it can be set up in a way that the kid can't access any admin privileges and can't undo what we do in it. Or, God forbid, your kid's getting bullied at school and online and, just, some stuff going on, but the kid won't tell you about it. Well, if they're getting bullied online in the social media, you're going to know because you have access and you are checking it regularly, I would hope. That makes a heck of a lot more sense than trying to say, no, you parents need to give your ID. Thank God this bill is being held up, and I can't believe I'm saying thank God, but Meta hired NetChoice. It's a firm that, in my opinion, they're almost like the ACLU, but anyway, that they brought suit against Ohio last year that has got this bill, even though DeWine signed it into law in July of last year. It's being held up in court. It was supposed to go into effect January 15th, but it hasn't yet because that I know of. I tried to check to see. I can't find anything more recent than I think last fall. But excuse me. I do find it funny on a side note that Meta's attorneys are part of their complaint is that the bill is too broad, which I do agree with that. But their other thing is they're trying to say that Ohio is, that this bill violates First Amendment rights. Let that sink in for a second. One of the biggest tramplers of First Amendment rights is accusing Ohio of anyway, I just thought that was hysterical. But all that aside for a second. I wrote to my legislators about this one too, and I offered my suggestion. Why not a family plan? We don't need this digital ID stuff. So I would hope that, especially if you're in Ohio, tell them, tell your state senator, absolutely no on Senate Bill 212. That's about requiring age verification to view online pornography. And absolutely no on House Bill 295, which is the same thing but in the House version. And then, contact them about HB 33 and let them know, there's other ways. Let's narrow this bill a bit that says nothing about providing a legal ID to use anything online. That's freaking ridiculous, in my opinion. If you disagree, have at it. Show me, you can give your opinion down below. I definitely welcome that. But again, I have to say, I really believe this is all just a way to bring in the back door a digital ID. So let's stand up and tell them, oh no, Ohio. One other thing really quick. When you look at this, see this on the Senate side, Coons, she's got an R by her name. That's suspicious. And I about fell over when I looked up HB 295, all of these people except for one, all of the sponsors except for one, have an R by their name. Freaking rhinos. So folks, don't put a lot of weight on what party somebody's from. They've all flipped their lids. They're all, to varying degrees, helping to push these agendas that is only going to be to lock us down in other ways. We don't need another 2020. Thank you very much for listening.